Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tuned. We are going to be just kind of doing whatever today, and I got to finish the Civic right now. I'm putting a new throw bearing into it because this car, if you guys have been following for a while, we did a turbo kit on it, and the car came in kind of uncompleted, and we finished it for the guy, and then found out later that there was no throw bearing in the transmission. So we had to take it all back apart and put a throw bearing in it because yeah, there wasn't one in it when it got dropped off. So I just installed new throw bearing and greased the shaft. So now I'm going to be putting the transmission back up into the car. This is a built B series and it has an Exetti twin disc clutch, and we did the exhaust on it and some other things. So yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to get this transmission chucked back in, and we're gonna have to raise the engine and everything back up so we can bolt it back into place. One thing that I always do when I put transmissions back in cars is I always make sure that the bell housing area on the engine is completely free of any wiring or, you know, like clutch cable lines or anything like that. Just make sure that you don't smush any of the wires in between the block and the transmission. I have done that before in the past, and it's not fun. So just make sure that you're not going to smash any wires in when you bolt the transmission onto the engine. So we're going to slide this thing on. Alright guys, so I got the transmission installed back into the car now. Axles are in, shift linkage is on. I got fluid in it, and I got the intercooler pipe back installed here. Had to take all that stuff off, obviously, to get at the transmission and all that. And this car's been sitting for a while, so the battery is dead. So I just have a charger on it right now. And I have to get a new slave cylinder because the old one that was on here when we initially got this car put together, I bled the clutch and the slave cylinder overextended and it got ruined because it overextended because there was no throw bearing actually on the transmission. So I'm gonna go get a new throw bearing from the parts store and then come back and hopefully get this thing fired up and make sure that it goes into the gears. And then I'll probably come back tomorrow and dyno tune it, and then yeah, I gotta head home and do some stuff around the garage. I might have some help coming over tonight to help me with some of the stuff in my garage that we're doing, and I'll show you that in a little while. But yeah, so we got this Civic. Hopefully it'll be up and out of here very soon, clear some clutter out of here, and then we can start on a cooler, not really a cooler project, but a different project that I'm doing for a customer. This one's gonna be a turbo LS, just kind of basic setup, stock engine, completely stock, no cam, no nothing. I think it's got 4L80 transmission, and we gotta get a parts list together for this thing so we can send it to the customer and hopefully get a start on this thing maybe by the end of the week here. And then yeah, so then we can get to our projects. thing runs pretty good. And the best part is we got a clutch pedal and it goes forward and backward. So yeah. She's ready to hit the dyno. I hope. The thing is that scares me a little bit with this thing is they forgot the throwout bearing. What else did they forget inside the engine? There's a cooling fan. That's all working. I just hope there wasn't anything like overlooked inside the motor. I checked the cylinder head and did valve lash and stuff like that, but bottom end I didn't touch. But it sounds pretty good, and it's not making really any noise or anything. The tune's a little lean, but I forgot my laptop today, so I'm gonna come back out here with the laptop tomorrow. Hopefully get this thing finished up, but rattly twin disc. First gear, second gear, third gear. Look at that. Pretty stoked about that. And this thing just frickin' wants to rev. Look at it come right back to idle. Like I said, we got this thing kind of base mapped. Oop. Let me see how she fires back up. Fires right back up. So like I was saying is we got this thing base mapped. Right when we first finished the turbo kit and stuff up, we got a base map on it, and I got it idling good. We already had set the idle and everything like that on the lift here, but now it's just a matter of, you know, like I said, we were about to pull it onto the dyno and then figured out the throwout bearing issue. But like I said, now she should be ready, hopefully. Alrighty guys, so I'm actually back at home now in my garage at the house, and I've been out here for a couple hours with a buddy, and we've been just kind of going to town on just working out here and trying to finish a lot of this stuff up before it gets really cold out. If you guys don't know, I did buy a house recently, and it came with a garage that's unfinished, as you can tell, but we are working on doing some finishing work to it. I actually came out here last night and filmed quite a bit of stuff with what I've been doing out here, which I may include right now, or I might just talk a little bit right now and see how it goes, see what version I like better, which is what I do a lot of times. I'll edit, and then I'll be like, oh, I don't like how that was, and I'll go and re-edit it, etc., etc. And thanks for all the support, guys, on the last video. It really means a lot to me that just the feedback that I got was positive, and we can all kind of work together in times of need, if you know what I mean. But like I said, it was really hard for me to post that video, and I was actually up for a while debating like, fuck, do I hit upload or do I not? But I did, and I'm glad I did. So thank you so much for the support on the last video. But anyways, I've been out here, I filmed that video like a week and a half ago, and we've been out here just kind of busting ass trying to get a lot of stuff done out in the garage, because like I said, it's unfinished and it's cold here in Wisconsin, and I'm trying to do a lot of stuff to just have it heat better, light better, and just be a better place to be, better place to hang out, whatever. So I did get a couple of these little cheap LED lights from Menards. They were like 15 bucks, and I hung up like 4 of them. These ones are just kind of hanging out on top of the trusses. But yeah, so this garage, when we first came out here, or when we first got this place, there was 3 light bulbs in the garage. So there was one in this corner right there, and then there was one where this outlet is, and then there was one where that outlet is. But we actually changed those. Oop, let me tighten my camera up here. We changed those light bulbs to an outlet instead, so we can just plug in an LED like what we have here. So these are way brighter than you know, those old school light bulbs. And then we just kind of daisied in some outlets to run, you know, say a light over there, light over here, light over here, light over here, light in the corner, light in that corner, etc. So we did kind of daisy chain off of a lot of these, you know, where those light bulbs were, and we just ran an outlet to there, ran an outlet to there, etc. So we did a bunch of like little electrical work out here. There was literally 1, 2, 3 outlets in the whole garage. So we took those outlets and we just extended them, and we put more outlets in, and we actually isolated the walls and the lights on breakers, because when we got this place, everything was on a switch. So the garage door opener and all the electrical in the garage was on one light switch. So I didn't really like that. So me and my buddy put in this, like, you know, just a small panel for now. It's got 2 15 amp breakers in it. There's not a whole lot of power coming out here. So just for the winter, it'll be fine though, just because I only plan on running a heater and lights out here and maybe like a TV. But that's really all I plan on doing out here. I don't plan on doing any like welding or anything like that. Just basic hand tool stuff for, you know, just household stuff, nothing crazy. So anyways, we put that panel in and we wired it all up, and then we had to bore through all the studs to run the Romex for all the outlets, because I'm wiring all the outlets for when the day comes where I actually put more power out here. So like I said, I only have about 20 amps of usable power out here now, but maybe in the future we can run about a 50 amp service or 60 amp, you know, whatever, depending on how big of wiring we can run through the conduit that's in the ground. But since it's Wisconsin and it's cold outside, you know, running stuff underground might be a little bit challenging right now, because, you know, the ground might be hard and frozen and whatever. So anywho, we did hooked up the lights. So all the light switch over there actually controls all the outlets on the top. So we wired all that in, and then the outlets coming down here are all on a breaker. And then I also did the same thing on this wall. We ran a bunch of outlets down that wall. And it's like, why not have the outlets if you can put them in? They're like 99 cents for the box and then 50 cents for the outlet. And then I spent like maybe 50 bucks on wire. So it wasn't that big of a deal. And you might as well do it now before you insulate and drywall, because once you insulate and drywall, it's a lot harder to put outlets in than it is to do it right now. So I figure while we're here, let's just put a bunch in just in case we're gonna need them later. You know, rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So we did all the outlets, and then I went to Lowe's and I picked up 42 sheets of drywall here. This is just kind of the cheaper stuff. It's 1/2 inch drywall, and yeah. So we're gonna be sheeting the garage. So you know, covering all the walls up with the drywall. And I did get about 25 rolls of insulation, and I just kind of practiced on this one. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with any of this stuff. My buddy helped me do a lot of the electrical, and the insulation is simple, but I'm overcomplicating it. So pretty much I'm just cutting the insulation the length of, you know, between that stud and that stud, and then just kind of tucking it in there. And then you have these little flaps, which I'll be stapling to the stud. So I'll be doing that, and then I just tucked insulation up in the vent up here, because there's a lot of airflow that gets caught past that. So I did stuff insulation up there. I don't know if it's like the right way to do it, but my dad's buddy, he's been building houses for a long time, and he told me, dude, just put insulation up there and it'll heat like no other. So, and I'm going to put some plywood up in the attic, so I'll be able to go up there and take it out if I need to. But for now, I'm just tucking insulation up there, and honestly just tucking the insulation around the edges of the garage. We heated the garage for like 5 minutes, and it's been like a ½ hour, and the heater hasn't kicked back on. It's crazy how much just doing that little bit, how much more it holds heat. It's crazy. So anyways, in other news, I did take this like this shelf down. This was like a big eyesore to me because it was just kind of propped up there on the wall, which I had to take it off anyway to sheet. So now that I've got the drywall to put up, I had to take this down anyway, but I'm just gonna probably pitch this, take it to the dump or something because I don't really want it. I like the workbench that's in here, but I may do something a little bit different as well because I'll probably have to take that off as well to sheet or to drywall, you know, where that bench is right now. So I had to do that. And then, like I said, I took this down last night when I was out here. And I bought this heater. This is a Mr. Heater Big Max heater. And me and my buddy have been out here, and me and my girlfriend actually hung this thing last night. And we braced up on the trusses, so there's actually a board on top where the heater is mounted to. It's not just hanging on the drywall, believe it or not. This heater is like 75 pounds. So yeah, anyways, this heater should heat this garage very well. And I picked it up at Northern Tool. It was like 360 bucks, but it was on sale for Black Friday. I picked it up, and yeah. So anyways, I got the heater hung, and we have to cut a vent. So we have to actually cut a hole in the drywall here and then out the roof to vent the heater. So I did actually have to get a custom hose for this heater as well because it goes from pipe thread to propane, and I'm gonna be running this thing on LP instead of natural gas for this year, just because, like I said, the ground's frozen and I don't really wanna run the natural gas line out here while it's winter because it'd just be more of a pain in the ass. In the summertime, I do plan on maybe running the natural gas out here to run the heater off of the house's gas source. That way I don't have to run and get, you know, natural gas all the time, or propane all the time. And then I can just, you know, pay my public service bill. It'd probably be a little bit higher every month, but it'd probably be maybe cheaper than propane, maybe not. I'm gonna kind of try it out with propane this year and then convert maybe to natural gas next year. But this heater can do both. It just has adjustable, it has pretty much different jets that you put in for the burners. So I had to put those in, and then there's a little spring and an adjustment for the pressure on the inside that I did. And then we had to wire, we wired an electrical plug onto it. So there's just like a wiring, you know, 3-wire, green, white, and black that we had to wire into here. And then we had to get this gas line ran and a thermostat. So this is the thermostat wiring here, 2 wires goes down, and then you know, comes out to my thermostat, which is just chilling here for now. I do plan on mounting it once we have the drywall up, but it's just a basic, you know, thermostat to keep it, you know, 50, 60 degrees in here. I'd be pretty happy. And then these are all the pipes for the vents for the heater that I am working on doing. I just don't really know how to go about it because I have to bore a hole through the drywall and then through the roof as well. And I was planning on just doing vent like just straight out the side of the garage. I think that'd be a lot easier, but I don't know if it's the best way to do it. It definitely would be the easiest, but I don't know if it's the right way or if it'd be safe to do it that way. So I have to cut a hole in the wall for the propane, the gas line, and then I still have to cut the hole for the vent. And then the heater should work. Cross my fingers on that. And we did have to hang one piece of sheeting or drywall up here, and I totally messed up. This is my first one I've ever hung in my life. And it's like overhanging over here, so I have to like cut it or figure out how to attach the next sheet, which, yeah. I'm a mechanic. I'm not really a construction worker, but I'm learning. I'm definitely a jack of all trades, you could say, and I'm trying to, you know, I'm interested in anything really. So this is a drywall lift that my dad's buddy gave me, and I'm going to be using it to hang the rest of the drywall up. But yeah, definitely a lot of work to do a lot of this stuff, but it's fun. It's kind of rewarding. So I'm just going to keep plugging away at it and hopefully have it done soon. So we can heat the garage, you know, without freezing. So then I picked up a bunch of these like Kobalt tools for around the house too. Super good deal, guys. I got pretty much a 6-piece kit. It came with like a skill saw and like an impact and a sawzall, a drill, a flashlight, and I actually have another clip that I may insert talking about these tools because I'm super impressed with them. I did pick up, I went to Lowe's too when I was buying all the drywall and stuff. And on Black Friday, they actually had a deal where you got all these brushless tools from Kobalt for 250 bucks. It came with 2 batteries. It came with one like 2 amp hour battery and one 4.5 amp hour or 4 amp. Yeah, it's 4 amp. 4 amp hour battery here. And it came with 6 tools for 250 bucks. I thought it was a super good deal just to have for around the house because now that I'm on my own, I literally don't have any tools. I don't have anything here. Everything I own is at my shop, which I don't really want to haul tools back and forth. I'd rather have a little bit of tools at home so I don't have to, you know, borrow stuff or, you know, whatever the case is. So I got a lot of these power tools just to have around, and they definitely have been coming in handy for, you know, hanging up the outlets and dropping the holes through the studs for the Romex, and cutting this little shelf that they had in here. I cut this out of here because we have to sheet, so I had to pull this off the wall anyway. But just little stuff like that these have been super helpful. It came with a circular saw, so there's that. Yeah, that's not gonna work. It came with a drill. This drill is kick-ass, brushless 24 volt, just like all the other tools are. It came with the drill. It came with a flashlight, which I usually don't like using power tool flashlights just because they're bulky and they kind of just are junk in my opinion. I'd rather just use my phone half the time, or, you know, buy a tool from like Astro Tools or something like that, because those guys, they have the slim LED lights and they're really bright and they are rechargeable and everything like that. But I'll be honest, guys, this little guy, you can tell, like, my hand's right here, it's fairly small, and this thing kicks out a ton of light. So I'm very happy actually with this little light. That came with it, and it's actually really bright. Like I said, usually those little lights I just chuck in the garbage because they're too bulky and they're just not worth using in my opinion. But that one actually works pretty good. Then it came with a multi-tool. I've never actually used one of these before, but it came with a multi-tool, which I think is just for, like, you know, like doing little sanding jobs or whatever. It came with all these little pieces of sandpaper. Ooh, there it is. And then it came with like these little, that's a little guard for it. No, that's a blade. Focus. So this is like one of the little saw blades that it came with. Came with like a ton of these little saw blades to use on here. So that's cool. Maybe I'll use this for cutting around the drywall, you know, around the outlets and stuff like that. But I have no idea what I'm doing with when it comes to like measuring the sheeting and measuring out where I have no idea how to like cut around the outlets and stuff like that, which I feel like this tool would be really good at. I don't even know where to start with that stuff. So maybe if anybody out there has some quick tips, I'd gladly listen to your input. So anyways, there's that little multi-tool there. I got a little hammer. And then this is the impact driver that it came with. Kicks ass, just like all the other stuff. It all works really well for the money. 250 bucks, and you get yourself a lot of good stuff. And then it also came with a Sawzall, which I've been using the shit out of to cut. I cut this little shelf out of here, and then I cut a bunch of like random studs they had in the walls that, you know, were useless. So Sawzall. So yeah, there's everything, and then it came with the charger and stuff, obviously. But very good deal. Very happy with my little Black Friday purchase here. And then I also got this little tool bag for 99 bucks. And this thing comes with like everything, honestly, like ratchets, screwdrivers, pliers, side cutters, wire stripper, Allen wrenches, Torx bit, like everything. Honestly, like this kit is like super well put together, in my opinion. If you just need something to get you by, like honestly, I could build a whole car with what I have here. Realistically, I have drill bits, I have drill drivers, just like little odds and ends stuff, screwdrivers, like I was saying, and then all on the bottom is the wrenches. It came with like little hacksaw, just a ton of shit for 100 bucks. This whole bag, this whole toolkit was $100, and like I said, it has like everything. Sockets, ratchets, extensions, wrenches, standard, metric, you name it. The only thing it doesn't have is deep well sockets. That's the only thing. Like, other than that, it has pretty much everything. Super nice bag, and yeah, very happy with that as well. Oh. So my dad's buddy actually dropped this drywall hoist off. So this pretty much is like a crane to lift the drywall up onto the ceiling to be able to hang it. So I'm going to be learning how to use this guy, and yeah, hopefully learning how to fucking do this because it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but I want to get this stuff done before it gets super cold out so I can have some heat in here, like I said, before it gets super cold out. So yeah, this is kind of what I've been up to, guys. Just the last, week or so. I've been doing a little bit of car stuff here and there, but have been taking a little bit of a break. I actually will be probably showing you guys in the next day or two a video on my new engine for my black Mustang. I did get the machinist and me got the engine done. I just have to assemble it now, so I plan on doing a video on that coming here in the next couple days probably. And then just doing odds and ends stuff here and there. Project, I got a ton of stuff going on right now. It's just really hard to balance all of it and keep my head straight. Realistically, it's been really tough lately to just keep everything straight. And yeah, I feel like a fucking chicken with my head cut off, and a stressed out chicken with my head cut off. It's been tough, honestly. Like, just trying to do all this stuff, and yeah, that's kind of why I've been slacking on videos a little bit, but we're going to try to get back in the swing of things here and, I don't know, show you guys, I don't know. We'll make videos here and there. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night and a better tomorrow, and yeah, I'm going to try to film something else tomorrow depending on whatever we're doing. I don't really know what we're doing yet, but if you guys like the, house renovation stuff, let me know, and I'll maybe film some stuff tomorrow with my buddy when we start doing some more insulation work. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. See you later.